Hi everybody, Jimmy Cannon here, singer and voice coach. This is a post-session video that I often do with my one-to-one clients, if they want me to. After we've had a session, this is the video that just to recap on stuff. So we do the session. There's a lot of stuff to internalize, and often I find just sending a practice sheet is fine, but the visual aspect of recapping visually what we did is a really good thing to do. So this particular client is actually a fantastic speaker, fantastic raconteur, and very engaging on stage, and he really just wants to raise his game. So you mentioned doing some warm-ups, and that's going to be really useful for just before you go on stage to speak, before you're doing any podcasts, etc. So that's going to be great. So the first one we did was the lip trill. So that's, again, pursing your lips together, making a buzzing sound with your lips. It's very important that you're engaging the muscles here. We'll talk about that in a minute, but everything that you do. So when you're speaking, when you're warming up, always engage the muscles, and that's going to give you more resonance, more control, and more sustain over your breath, and give you more dynamics and more variety of tone, etc. So the breathing is key with everything we talked about on Friday. Okay, so the first one is the lip trill, and that's making the lips buzz. So like a horse. And you just want to practice every day. I'm going to try not to. I've got a bit of a cough, bit of a cough. Anyway, and try to keep that constant. And then we're going to produce a sound. So every day, just practice the rate. Keep it going. And as you see, I occasionally just stop. So you've got to practice. And it might help again if you put your fingers here. And it just lifts up the cheekbones, the skin below the cheekbones here, and just tightens up the embouchure here. So with that, and then make a sound, and we're going to start low, and we're going to go all the way through the vocal registers and down again. Okay, so start low in a low pitch, somewhere like that. It's probably G, and then all the way down, and do it, reasonably quick. Exercise number 2 with the same lip trill is to do a siren. So that's the same as the that siren. So, but that's the pattern, but we go up in pitch every time. So the pattern actually goes like that, and then up, and then it comes down again in pitch. The same thing, constant flow of the air, constant rate of the lips. The lips can actually can change the rate, so you can have it quite fast. The tighter you make them, is a different rate. The best rate is to try to make them as slow as possible. Then the wavelengths are larger and they're slower, and there's going to be more harmonics. There's going to be a lot more area where harmonics can be found, and that's going to help you with your resonance overall anyway. So with a lot of these exercises, there's a lot that's going on that can be done. So we've got breath control, we've got sustaining the breath for a long time, we've got the rate, and also the frequency and the potential harmonics that we're going to be able to create from that exercise, that one exercise. So again, number 2 is doing the siren with the same lip trill. So and then down again. And actually, you can hopefully hear that my lower register is nice and relaxed, and you're going to get more depth of tone, more chest resonance here when you need to project your voice, and it's going to come from the right area. So this is a great warm up. The other one is an NG sound. Also a great exercise to develop your vocal register and your the transition between all the registers of your voice, and that's going to be very useful to create emotion and empathy, and to engage the audience, and just variety of sound and color, really. And so this is great. So this is the NG placement, and you make that with the back of your tongue reaches the soft palate lowers slightly in the back of your tongue, and they connect together. So to get that, the word, any word with NG at the end, so it's something I use all the time, obviously singing. So singing. So it's a bit of a weird sound, and it's a great it's a great placement in your voice to practice. If you're doing a speech, you can mouth the words in that voice with that placement. So you can experiment with different registers. If I was going to talk in there, I probably wouldn't, but I could. And that might just make a little bit of a difference in the way that you come across. And it might just be a little bit more engaging. Obviously, I'm completely exaggerating everything now, but you can see how effective it might be if you just want to create a little bit more emotion. And then, so that exercise, every day, siren. Now, all these exercises you must be engaging the abdominis muscles to help the breath, control the breath, and to keep the energy away from the throat area, the larynx area here. So we're going to talk about breathing for a little bit now. When we talk about breath, we need to be aware of how to breathe properly. We need to be aware of what's going on and how and feeling the breath, the inhale and the exhale. So when we're inhaling, the belly drops, and I'm just going to stand up here. The belly drops and comes out. And when we're exhaling, the belly comes back in, and the diaphragm rises and pushes the air through the lungs, through the vocal tract. If we're creating a sound, it phonates, and the vocal folds resonate together, and we then need to find the resonance to create the sound and project the sound. So it's that flow that we're looking for, that ebb and flow, if you like, of the inhale, of the tide of breath, and the exhale, and the control of that, control where that breath goes, the direction of that breath. So very quick exercise. We're going to breathe in for 8 through the nose, very slowly, as slow as you can actually, and then we're going to hold that for 4 seconds, and then we're going to release it, and we're going to with a shh. Okay, so after 4, 1, 2, 3, breathe in through the nose. Hold it for 4 seconds, and then out. All the way, let in. Hold it, and then out. Okay, so we're going to transfer the sh to a zh sound, and that's really just engaging the vocal folds. So an unvoiced fricative becomes a voiced fricative, and so from sh to sh, and that's really feeling the resonance here and connecting the breath. So it's really about the connection between the abdominis muscles, the movement of the diaphragm pushing the air up, and the sound, the resonance of the sound. So after that, we'll be connecting the words to that sound. So all we'll be doing at the moment is creating resonance, all right, which is from here. Now, if you took your body away and you just had the larynx, it would be very kind of sound. And actually, what you want to be doing is experimenting with and really feeling where the sound goes. And we can do that with other exercises that we didn't have time to start doing last time. But just to be aware really of that, and really the connection and the sustain of that sound. So we're going to do a count of 8. We're going to do a count of 8, and we're going to go, and then a long one, then we're going to breathe in through our mouth as if we're speaking. So quick inhale, but make sure we're going to drop the belly, and we're going to expand the rib cage, and we're going to, allow the lungs to expand, allow that space around here, around the rib cage, around the back here as well. So again, 8. Long one. All the way to the end. Okay, great. So that's from the sh to a zh. So from an unvoiced to a voice sound. Now we're going to be looking at intoning. Okay, so intoning is a method where we sing on one pitch, and you might have heard. Completely made up that. That's not Latin, by the way, so don't look it up. You might have heard monks in prayer and singing on one note. It's the same thing, same principle, but with speech we use it to open up the sound. The breath is constant, so it's a constant pitch, and we're not worried about the inflections of the language. We're just worried about the sustain of the sound, and that will open up the tonal variety that you need for your speaking voice. Pick a section of your presentation, either the intro or the closing, and use that as an exercise to develop your tonal variety and your color in your voice, and do that with an intoning exercise. So just pick a presentation. I'm going to pick a gas bill, because that's what I've got to hand, and I'll show what I mean. So pick a pitch. Do this on different pitches. So I'm going to try one pitch, which is there. I think that was probably near the pitch I was doing last time. So here we go. We've received your account to check your payments are covering your electricity use. Your payments have been changed from £102.92 to £64.84 a month. Interesting. So I'm going to do it one more time. We've reviewed your account to check your payments are covering your electricity use. Your payments have been changed for £102.92 to £64.80 a month. I'm just going to speak it now without the intoning. We've reviewed your account to check your payments are covering your electricity use. Your payments have been changed from £102.92 to £64.84 a month. When you're singing, you really have to articulate the words and the sound, really the vowel sounds, and really need to come out. So actually what happens, not only is the color and the tone of your sound, hopefully by practicing this, you're being more aware of that sound. So being more aware of it is going to produce more of that sound and something that you like in your voice. But also you're going to be speaking slower, much slower as well. So by we've received your account to check your payments. We've received your account to check your payments. You're very likely going to be speaking much clearer and more slowly, which is going to hopefully engage your clients and engage your customers and engage your audience, which is the main thing